It seems that most people have are lost in the collective um, dream, right? Um, like, you know, I think there's like, I don't know, like this whole awakening business or enlightenment is all about finding out what's true for yourself. It's all about thinking for yourself and finding out what's true. It's all about unlearning everything that you imagined to be true. It's all about unlearning it's all about unlearning what you thought was true. And the best place to start is society's values and ideals and shit like this, as well as cultures. Um, and you know, society is a kind of like vague term, but society just means people, really. So what you have to do, where to start, is to not believe in what anyone says. Simple as that. You gotta find out for yourself. You have to take back your own authority and think for yourself. Um, so you know, a lot of you know, a lot of you know, like your parents and your teachers and all this kind of stuff is they're all imposing their own beliefs onto you, and you suck it up to be true. And you know, on media, social media, you know, on TV, advertisements, all this kind of stuff, you're sucking it up to be true, you know. And it's all based in dualistic thinking of right and wrong, or good and bad, um, adequate or inadequate, good enough or not good enough. And so we get trapped in this, you know. We believe in what we're told when we hear our parents speak to us, or we hear an advertisement on TV, all this kind of stuff. We believe what they say, and what they say is you're not good enough unless you do this. You're not good enough unless you believe this. You're not good enough unless you do this. You're not good enough unless you have this. You're not right, you're wrong if you believe this. You're not right, you're wrong if you don't have this. You're inadequate if you don't believe this or have this or do this. All this kind of shit. And it varies from person to person. You know, some people, it'll be like, you've got to learn the violin, otherwise, you know, or like, you got to become a doctor or a lawyer, otherwise you're not good enough. or advertisements saying things like, you've got to get this new makeup for your face, you've got to look beautiful, otherwise you're not good enough, you're not going to be accepted. All this kind of shit. It's and we suck it up to be true. And the thing is, if you can step outside this, yeah, it's really good. If you can take back your own authority, if you can think for yourself and not believe in anybody's stories, then you're really kind of like, that's just where you got to start in life. You can't get by and live a good life if you're contaminated with other people's beliefs. And it seems like, most of our thinking is not our own. It's pre-packaged and programmed into us from so many different external sources. But we believe it to be ours and we believe it to be true. And it's like, oh fuck man, I'm not good enough because, I haven't got a job. I'm not good enough because I haven't got a girlfriend. I'm not good enough because, I don't have good clothes. I'm not good enough. It's all this kind of shit. And it has no basis in truth whatsoever. Now, of course, what's going to happen though is, the thing is that everyone is living in this collective dream. Everyone's reinforcing it. And so wherever you go in society, in this collective dream, wherever you go, you're going to be faced with this reinforcing of these beliefs, of this good enough and not good enough. And so it's tricky to step outside this collective dream. It's tricky because everyone, it's like because you don't want to feel left out. We are social creatures, and it's in our biology to find a tribe and to try and fit in. It's a survival mechanism. We have to fit in. No one wants to be the black sheep. No one wants to be ostracized and pushed out of the tribe. It's just a natural part of our animal nature. But anyway, so wherever you go, everyone's reinforcing this collective dream and its ideals and beliefs. And so if you don't have a job, for an example, and you're in a group of people and they're asking you, what do you do for work? And you're like, oh, well, I don't actually have a job. Then there's going to be a lot of judgment from people. There's going to be a lot of criticism. Or if, so, and, but the thing is that, are you believing them? Are you believing their criticism and judgment? Are you taking that energy that they're giving you? Are you allowing that to affect you? Are you allowing their criticism and judgment to affect you? Because if you are, you're believing in this collective dream. You're believing that, oh yeah, it is bad that I have got no job. You see? But if you've stepped out of this, and you can see these people judging you and criticizing you, it's just like, if you've truly stepped out of it, none of that energy affects you, and you don't take anything personally. You see quite clearly that they're just acting the way that they're acting because of the pre-packaged programs that have gone into them by the collective dream. They're just doing their thing. They're just an animal doing their thing, like any other animal doing their thing. They've been conditioned that way, and if you take it personally, then you're buying into that dream, then you're no different from it. You know what I mean? You've got to do what you think is right. You've got to do what you think is good. Not what anyone else thinks is good. A lot of people say, you got to get a job, or you got to get this certain amount of money and all this kind of stuff. But you've got to figure out what you actually think about that. You see, for me, like doing shit, like having kind of work is important. I believe that, we've got to have some kind of work that we enjoy doing, and we've got to have some kind of income so we can get by in life, and so we can have more opportunities in life, so we can fucking get water and get our basic survival needs met. Yeah, I believe that's a healthy thing. But if you're like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to just get a job because people are telling me that I have to. I'm just going to I have to get this amount of money because people are telling me I have to. And if I don't do these things, then I'm inadequate. Not good enough. But what I'm saying is that you've got to ask what you actually want and what's actually healthy for you. And so, yeah, you've got to have some kind of income. And it can be whatever income you want. You just need the basic survival needs met. You just, find out how much money you actually need to live on. You don't need any more than you need. And obviously, you do what you want to do. Don't do what other people want to do, what other people want you to do. Other people are imposing all this bullshit onto you, saying, you've got to get a job, or you've got to, do this and that. And, the thing is that we're naturally inclined to do things. I'm not saying, oh, don't have a job and don't do any of this, just lay about, do nothing. Because the thing is, if you just lay about doing nothing, being lazy, and just, satisfying your senses and being hedonistic, if you're doing that, it's kind of a clear sign that you're still stuck in believing in this collective dream where you're where it's oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that we're naturally drawn to be to be doing shit, you know. In our most natural state, you know, we have a desire to live life, to have fun, right? And sitting on your ass all day, being hedonistic, is evident that you can't keep that up forever. Drinking alcohol, smoking weed, eating food, laying in bed, watching TV, like, it's good sometimes, but in moderation. And if you just live that kind of life day in, day out, all the time, there is something in you holding you back. It's a clear sign that there's something in you holding you back. There's some kind of conditioning, some kind of blockage within you. Because that's not naturally how we're wired. You're basically putting in more effort than is needed to maintain this kind of hedonistic lifestyle. But anyway, so it's a lot of fun when you can not. It's a lot of fun when you cannot let other people's beliefs and opinions and judgments and criticisms affect you. It's a lot of fun when you don't take anything personally. And I'm not saying I'm fully there, but more and more I'm seeing that, you know, that I am not taking things personally. I'm not getting caught up in other people's beliefs about what's right and wrong, what's good and what's not good enough. And it's so freeing. Now, of course, doing this is going to make you really fucking lonely, because no one will really understand you, and you've got to learn to be okay with that. That's what happens when you start being alone, when you start thinking for yourself. When you start thinking for yourself, it's going to be really fucking hard to start with. Because no one's going to understand you, and you're going to get fucking furious. You're going to get angry. Because what you're doing is something that's healthy that no one else is doing. But basically, you think that what you're doing by thinking for yourself is the sanest thing that you can do, is sane, is healthy, which it is. But everyone around you is saying that it's insane and it's unhealthy. You know, not directly, not verbally, but energetically, subtly, that's what's happening. You know, when you stop conforming to this collective dream or this society, when you stop conforming to that, there are going to be so many people that are coming at you saying, like, that are just confused, that don't understand, and the energy that they're going to give off is they're going to get angry at you, they're going to be confused at you, they're going to be frustrated, they're going to be sad, a ton of emotions, a ton of these negative emotions, simply because you're stepping out of this conformity that they're in, and they don't understand what you're doing, and you're going to be like, this is going to be tough on you, because you're going at it alone. And I've been through this process, and like what you want to do is be like you you have this desire to kind of want other people to see what you're doing and want other people to do what you're doing. You want other people to think for themselves. You want other people to be healthy in this. And you become quite like righteous and dogmatic. And you just get fucking frustrated that no one understands you. But then there comes a time where you just give up, and it's like, you know what? I don't care what people think of me anymore. I don't care what people think of me. Because I know the truth. I know that whatever they think of me has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Has everything to do with the way that they have been conditioned. And what you're doing is breaking that conditioning for yourself. Because that conditioning is based in lies. It's based in falsehood. And what you're doing is unlearning these things that are false and taking back your own authority and thinking for yourself. But there's always further to go. Because stepping out of the collective dream is one thing. But then you've got to step out of your own dream. Right? You're stepping out of society. You see the fabrication of society and culture. You see that it has no inherent existence in reality. But now you've got to see that whatever you still believe, like you've rejected the collective, you've rejected society, back to yourself. But now you've got to see your own beliefs, your own opinions, your own stories and narratives. And you've got to step out of those. You've got to step out of your personal dream. And that is fucking hard. Because we self-deceive ourselves. We deceive ourselves. And so it takes a tremendous amount of honesty and truthfulness with ourselves. Yeah. I don't know, that's all I've got to say anyway.